Am I going first or are you going first, Bob?
You go ahead first.
Okay. Let's get Mikey. He doesn't like anything. So a couple of posts in Slack. Oh, well, maybe I better share first. So a couple things in Slack that sort of represent what's going on. I've run a couple of missions. This one was um, 12 turns, 12 U-turns. I'm just going to call them U-turns. Purists would say, "Oh, that's not a U-turn, that's something else." But um, if I'm going 180 degrees, this is the turn that gets me to going back 100, 360 degrees. So that was really positive in the sense that it demonstrated I could, physically control the robot. And the other thing was it helped me practice my mission planning process. This was
Oh,
the
okay.
this was the video. I'll just see if I can get to the section. So that was the mission, and I had just plucked these coordinates off of a Google map
Okay.
because I hadn't really ran a perimeter mission to gather the boundary, the actual boundary. So because I was physically at home and not at the testing location, I just said, okay, I'll just use Google Maps to create that. So ran that. Uh, it worked, which was good news. And so my next step was to run a bigger mission and to plan that mission using a boundary that I had gathered by physically driving it. So
Oh,
this dotted line is not, it's a polygon made up of points captured as I drove that boundary. And then I fed that lat long data into a series of scripts to give me, I think there's 49 straight lines each way, and then U-turns on each of those, and then ran that. It took me about 45 minutes to run this mission. Green is good, red is bad. What that's showing is it's running this straight line, but it's um, more than, say, 6 inches off the target. The world's not going to come to an end
yeah.
at that level of precision, but um, I want more. So my problem statement at the moment is, my critical problem statement is I have to tune my steering to be more precise. The hypothesis of why is this green and this yellow and this red, the incline, there's a hill here. So
Oh,
if this were sea level on this end, on the south pole, the north boundary is, I don't know, 15 feet, 3 meters, 4 or 5 meters higher.
mhm.
Um, so my hypothesis is the when the tractor gets into a roll, it's not being aggressive enough to steer harder to the left in this instance
Oh,
to
sure.
get on the line. Um, there's probably a technical name for that, but I don't know it. Um,
That's I've seen that same exact um, degradation or whatever you want to call it with tractors on the hill. So you're constantly turning uphill while you're trying to
mm,
go straight.
yeah, I mean, if you were on the tractor and you were, I mean, doing it manually, you would definitely just turn it a little further left or a little right just to
Yeah,
stay on the track, and you'd get some slippage, and
yeah.
the bigger the roll, the more the slippage and all that stuff. So yeah, that's
So how do you tackle that?
Bob. I'm coming to you for the answers, my man. You're the great strawberry farmer of the past. You got to tell
Well,
me.
I don't know about that, but
Um, So I don't know. I've got some thoughts on how to make it more aggressive, but that's what I need to test
Okay.
coming up. And so this is a new and improved map that's trying to show me, my perimeters. So I run this green line represents the outer perimeter. This purple line represents a second outer perimeter run. And then this blue area represents the 49 lines going up here, making a U-turn and coming back. And what it's showing me is I've got some, we'll call it pink here, that's not cut. So I'm going to have a mission just to tidy up all of that pink stuff too, but I'm going to save that for a little bit,
Yeah.
a little bit later. So,
Nice. When you were driving around the perimeter, and how did you record the points and establish that perimeter digitally?
um, I have I'm trying to get to my GitHub here. In, I have a field log, what I call a field logger. Um, so this Python script, well, it's this one, it's the 28th. It is, all of these data elements
Okay.
are the data elements that it's writing to a CSV file on the RPi as it's going. And
Oh,
so
okay.
lat, lon, fixed quality, heading. I mean, there's a lot of
Yeah.
data in this, but this is the script that does that for me. So before I run a mission, I capture this, I start this Python script.
Okay. So it's a constant read in.
Yeah, actually, it's operating at, I think this was going at, um, running at 10 hertz. Yeah, this is capturing data at 10 hertz. So 10 times a second, it's pulling in,
Yeah.
it's writing a record into that CSV file.
Nice. So with your whole project, you how much memory do you need to operate the whole thing, and how much stored memory do you have to have?
Yeah, so I pull the log files off the Raspberry Pi each time. I don't know is
Oh,
partially the answer. I've got a Raspberry Pi 5. It's got 8 gigabit of RAM. It's running at about 20% utilization when I'm out
oh,
there. And
okay,
these files, uh, let's see if I can see. Um, that's not that's not the CSV files. This
yeah,
these are the two key log files. So one is just under 4 megabits, and one is 14 megabits.
okay,
Um, so we're not talking about huge amounts of data,
okay,
even at even at 10 hertz for, a 45-minute run.
oh, okay,
But this is what, this is,
oh,
it's just,
you
a,
put it in a spreadsheet.
well, it writes to a CSV file. I just opened it in Excel. But that's just a sample of some of the
Ah,
some of the data.
sure. I notice in some cells you've got a little green triangle.
That's when Excel sees a big number, it thinks it needs to convert it. Um,
Oh,
and so this lat lon data, I'm trying to get to one of the cells to see, it'll give you the message. Um, it thinks it wants to convert this lat lon data.
okay,
It's Excel tried to be helpful. I just ignore it.
Okay.
Um, and it seems like you can see the error or the message there. It says that it looks like a number, but it's formatted as text. Do you want to
Okay.
do something about that?
No.
And none of my analysis deals
Okay.
complain about the CSV
Okay.
data.
I didn't mean to interrupt.
No,
So,
I'm pretty well done. I mean, other than um, questions. Um, so this is my next mission. What's changed about this is I've adjusted the spacing a little bit. I've readjusted my logic for calculating these U-turns. I think I could still do better, but again, this is sort of version two. Um, I've increased the speed, so hopefully it won't take 45 minutes to run this mission. It was set at 0.75 meters per second on the straights and zero point 0.5 meters per second on the turns. I don't think I'll rattle the thing apart if I run it at 0.85 the whole time. So
okay.
a little bit faster, improved U-turns and improved logging so that I can then get into, that slope, figuring out how to resolve my slope problem.
Yeah. Hmm.
And I improved my logging process. So I'm going to capture all my data at 10 hertz. I wasn't doing that in the past.
Okay.
So that's where I'm at.
Hmm. Okay. Let's see what I can break here. Well, whenever I go outside to do something, I tell my wife I'm going to go outside and break something,
Yeah, that's nice.
and
It's
hopefully I don't. Kind of like the old theater break a leg thing.
yeah. So you set the bar and then exceed it. That's
Yeah.
good.
So share. Okay. Now let's get to Nanobot. Okay. Can you can you see this coming up?
You can close that image of me and then I see robot debug session report.
Okay. Let's see how do I. Okay. Um, this I just produced today. Up until now, I seem to be getting caught into loops, endless loops going back and forth. And at a point, I started recognizing the pattern when it starts mentioning things like these are the possibilities, or it's probably this, or it's probably that, or so I say, don't do that. Don't, just go from evidence. And we set up rules. So I learned the difference between set point, then set point lock, and then set point lock constraint. And when I do the constraint, that locks it hard, and he's not supposed to go back any back in the history, but just deal with those things. But I'm still getting a lot of drift, even though we set up these rules. Um, that so I said, basically what's going on and what was violated. The original one, the constraint was violated many times. The evidence would get collected and verified, and when before this, when it was trying to troubleshoot down at the motor level, I said, no, wait a minute. This all that works, So I went back to the user interface and said, let's start there and start testing from button presses going down. And that's where we, and have been doing it one small step at a time. And we got down to proving that the TCP works. It receives the command, um, and it uses the singleton. And I had to look that one up. I'll explain that later. And the code path exists. Um, there's only one remain. See the it's supposed to just take one unknown at a time, uh, and more or less discover it, record it, and make the evidence before it goes on searching for any more. Um,
Can I ask you a question, Bob?
yeah,
So I'm going to show you let me share for a second.
yeah.
Share, replace current, share. So in my notes, I have this file for, I mean, it's just my planning tool. Um, and I have, a list of things for like, okay, these are things that I want to get done. These are things I've recently completed.
Okay,
These are things I want to do in my next field test. And then I've got buckets of things that I need to get done. And then I also sort of keep track of the things that I've
okay.
already
Can you
did.
can you share your screen?
I thought I was.
Oh,
I'll try it again. Hold on. Can you see
oh, I'm
my
in the
screen?
wrong tab. I'm sorry. Okay, now I got it.
So again, this is in my repository. I just put it under the plan. It's just a .md file, so it's basically a text file.
Okay,
But I keep track of, what are the things that I'm working on, and it's not completely linear. I might do something um, on the RPi and then work on teleoperation and then work
sure.
on GPS, but it's just a way to segment the work that I have done if it's got a check mark or I haven't done.
Yep.
Um, so like this is my base station. I achieved getting RTK fixed, but I haven't set up a permanent base station yet. Um,
Okay.
I haven't surveyed the base station for 24 hours, which is something you need to do or should do. Um, and so it's not in order of all my things, but do you have anything like this of what are the
Um,
what are the tasks in front of you that you're trying to get done?
I don't think so. It's been diagnosed one problem after another. It,
Because like in big buckets, you got video working, and then you got a menu overlaid on your video, and then
right.
you got server servo control on your video. I mean, those are
Correct.
some of the big things that I remember that you've gotten done.
Yeah, and it's using WebRTC. So there's a video channel, and then there's the data channel, which is supposed to send the commands for the motors. So that's where I'm working on is through that channel down to motor commands.
And the reason I ask is because I'm wondering if some of your, um, I'm going to call it negotiation with your chat GPT is uh, linked to being clear, super clear on, okay, what's the goal for today?
Yeah.
Uh, what have we got done? What do we need to get done? Um, because it should not be as frustrating as it certainly appears that it is with.
No, it is. At one point, I was very tempted to throw everything away, erase GitHub, erase all of the files I had, and start from scratch. But I figured, well, I am learning a lot how to use the journal and how to troubleshoot.
So
But
forget your conversations. What in the last couple of weeks, where did you leave it? What's the operational status of your web video servo
okay,
interface?
I can see live video all the time, and I can control the movement of the camera servos.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, and I can see that it is looking around. So, and then I do have the user interface up, and it shows um, that it's connected. And
Can you do a demo of that now?
yeah, let's see how I do that. Um, okay, I'll share. Okay, and then that. Now, in theory, I should be able to go to any web browser on our home network. And let's do this. And just type in the Nanobot.
You can
Uh,
close that video screen.
yeah. So I just come up, supposedly I can HTTP.
Probably want to do that in the top bar, not the
Oh,
search bar.
let's see.
Move up,
Move.
move your cursor up
Oh, okay.
right there.
Oh, up there. 192, 168, 490, and 8080. This should go right into the Orin Nano. There it is. So that's the user interface, but I haven't tried to adjust it very much. So it says I am connected, and I don't know why I'm not getting video now, but and
Do you have power on the robot?
uh, yeah, yeah, there is. So maybe it's because I've interrupted something while I'm diagnosing. So, but anyway, the speed was a problem. One of the problems, it was set way too low, and I finally got that fixed. And then, of course, these buttons used to work.
And is that the problem at the moment? Those buttons don't work?
The camera servos work. The problem is that these don't work correctly. Um, I think I get like when I do this one, I get a forward. Then I was turning the wrong way here and here. And I forget the problem with that one.
And so trying to debug those drive button errors, where do you have a chat GPT conversation where you were trying to debug those buttons not behaving the way you want them to?
Yeah. And it finally got down to the motor level, and it was saying, well, my trying to say um, at the motor, we're troubleshooting in the motor layer, and whether it was getting signals and stuff like that, or whether the motor driver was good or bad, or the PCAs were good or bad, or whatever. And I said, no, we've proved all of that. I went round and round for a couple of days, and that's before I knew about this labeling it constraint.
What constraint?
Yeah, so then I went back and said, okay, let's start here and go down to the motor. And so we're taking one layer at a time. And the signal passes, let's see. Let's see if I can find the graphs. Oh, come on. I'm kind of slow. Where are you? Okay. Uh, I'm trying to find a graph that they. Huh. Oh, come on. Hmm. Can't seem to find anything now. Oh, boy, this is taking so. Well, I suppose it's because I got Zoom going at the same time.
Well, while we're waiting for that, I'm going to share my screen again.
Good.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I just have to make it bigger.
So a couple of weeks ago, back looks like on the 16th, I sent you this direct message. Are you seeing that?
Yeah.
And so what it opens up is it reviewing my WebRTC stuff.
Oh, okay.
And I'm just going to ask it,
Oh. Oh, that reminds me. I found another problem in that GitHub, Obsidian, and SyncThing were not all synced and up to date.
no, version control stinks.
Yeah. So finally,
I
we
constantly
got
have problems with that.
finally got that straightened out, and I confirmed this is everything stable and in sync. And after corrections, yeah, we finally got it. But that was one of the sources of the round around and around. There were different process. Uh, Instead of having one process running, there were two processes, and one of them was from the old days before I started using tracking the versions. So
Yeah, I think, you know, I will make a prediction that 20 years from now, I'm still going to be complaining about my lack of version control. Um,
so you asked it to check out that stuff.
yeah, so it said step three in this code, server step 3.py was where I had connected two servos to that PCA and had a steering slider and speed
Yeah.
positions
Hmm.
and neutral. So
Yep.
if you want to go to that code and say, you know, th this code worked for somebody else, can you compare it to what I'm doing? It's
Oh,
it's an option for you.
yeah, I will do that.
So open up Slack and make sure you can get to that direct message I just sent you.
Okay. Um, let's see. Oh, I can't do it during Zoom?
Uh, I'm doing it during Zoom.
Okay. Hmm. Yeah, it doesn't highlight in Zoom, so I'll have to. No, it just doesn't want to do it. Well, I'll have to wait for the recording, I guess, huh?
The recording's not going to help you with getting the link.
Oh, okay. Could you put that in the? Can you put that in the chat then?
Sure, let's try that. Now, can you click it in chat?
Okay. Yep, it shows up. Or the screen shows up.
So again, the all I'm trying to demonstrate is in my WebRTC folder, I went through at least 7 steps, probably more, um, going from just show video to evidently in step 3, I had servo control on the WebRTC
Okay.
screen. So it was just a progression of steps, each getting more complex. I haven't implemented any of this in my tractor yet, but I wanted to mess around with WebRTC when you first mentioned it a
Okay.
couple of months ago.
I think I'll take a good long look at that and compare them.
So your problem statement at the moment is you've lost what you used to have on servo
Yes.
control.
Um, well, now I do have servo control. I don't have motor control.
Motor control like a drive motor.
Yeah, drive motors.
Hmm. So forward and backwards.
Yeah, and left and right there.
But you can do pan and
Something
tilt
wrong.
on your camera.
Huh?
You can do pan and tilt on your camera.
Yes. So, but now it's a matter of. At one point, it told me the problem was on the motor controller. One channel is drive one, PWM one, DR2, and PWM2. And it was theorizing that the direction bits, DR1 and DR2, were not getting through or getting scrambled. So I wasted a day. We went around and around down at that level. Then I said, "Oh, wait a minute. Let's go back up to the user interface and start from the buttons and then go down." And so now we've gone down. The TCP is working and the status is okay. But then another thing said something wasn't getting logged properly. So I think that's now we're exploring that. Say why is it not logging properly? So
I put another link in the chat. Can you
okay,
see if you can open that up?
yeah, it's it's opening.
So I'm going to share my screen again.
Yeah.
You sh
Navigation information flow.
yeah, and so what's been helpful to me, and I'm just sharing it FYI, I don't know if it'll help you or not, but um, so at the very bottom of this diagram, it's the data flow of getting my tractor to move and to steer. And
Okay.
so over here on the right is the transmission, which controls the ground speed, and the steering motor, which controls the front
Okay.
wheels.
Yeah.
And it, I, at a physical level, have this um, motor controller that, and these two pins on this motor controller, and it's, saying this motor controller controls this, this motor controller controls that.
Okay.
The reason I thought it might be useful to share that with you is if you have a diagram like this, you can ask yourself, okay, so where is it working
Yeah.
and where's it
Yeah.
not working? So, if my front wheels stopped working, this is the path that I'm going to, is my teensy working? Is my motor controller powered? Blah, blah, blah. But
Okay.
it's very, and this is irrespective of like a web interface. If I want to control my steering through a web interface, I've got to come back up here
Oh.
to have an input into this thing called a bridge, which is my particular, way to communicate with the teensy from the Raspberry Pi.
Okay.
So the message in all of that blabbering is if
Uh,
you
uh,
if you have a flow chart of how you literally get data to turn these things on and off, then it's a little bit easier to debug when it's not working.
okay. Um, when you do that flow chart, is that in Obsidian and the whiteboard or?
Well, it happens to be, I mean, I put all my notes in this thing called Obsidian Vault, but you could call it, Bob's note folder. It doesn't,
Oh, sure.
that language
Okay.
is, I
Yeah.
think that is a sort of that's marketing.
Okay.
I mean, it is a .md file, which is, a text-based
Yeah.
file. And
Okay.
the chart itself is, uh, yeah, I mean, you can go down
Was
here
that?
and you can go down here and see what
Oh,
you could
okay.
click on raw and it shows you what's the raw
Oh,
underlying
okay.
content of that. That's
Okay.
uh,
Oh, good to know.
anyway. I'm sorry
Okay.
I'm sorry you've lost drive control over the web.
Well, I don't know. I probably created a lot of the problems before I even started using GitHub by having different files and processes and then not starting to get GitHub and Obsidian and Sync then working first and then start doing the programming and troubleshooting.
Well, for me, it's always been you get a little organized, you do work, you get a little disorganized, you back up, you get a little more organized. I mean,
Yeah.
for me anyway, it's an ebb and flow, and
Yeah.
I get in I get in
So that,
version control heck, and I'm like, oh, I messed that up again. So
yeah. Well, that's my homework for this week.
Very good.
So,
Okay, well, good luck.
okay. Thanks again for all the hints.
We'll talk to you later.